So the pallet of stone that was being delivered, it's 5,000 pounds. The pallet broke. The guy did not bring a forklift. It broke in the middle of the street. And so we've got to get the stone off the street as quickly as possible and pray to God it's not broken. Meanwhile, I have a porta-john stuck in an alley and it's filled with shit and literally a biohazard. And somebody wants $250 from me, so it's Friday. Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you around some of our projects. One, we are closing out. Final inspection is on Tuesday, so we're super excited about that. And then the other two are kind of midstream in the framing phase. So it should be a good mix. She is sneaky. She's so sneaky. Okay, fence is up. Edwin. So the fence is up, which is new. But we also have some drama because the guy who built the fence, and his brother are here, and they work for one of my other guys, which means that my client took their number and is using them here, which, you know, my business you can't actually do, but I guess clients are different. Drama! We don't do that. It's just like, it's a cardinal rule amongst like us. To get into trouble. Oh, I don't know what to do now. Do I call him and let him? Oh, I'm not surprised. The thing about it is now, do I have to tell about it? Is it really my business? It's my site. Yeah. It's also just like, look, we charge what we charge because of our experience. A Picasso can sell for 30 million and he could have done it in 30 seconds. It's the 40 years of experience he had before that to get there. So it's disrespectful to us and our trade and what we do. It's not well behaved of his guys. And the client thinks that, you know, they can get it for way cheaper. And yeah, for smaller stuff it makes sense, but it's totally respect thing. It does not sit well with me. Until John started, I don't think I'd had a full night's sleep in probably 4 months by then. I was constantly like waking up thinking about like the stress of the business and money, mostly money, because you know, construction is a very cash intensive business. Yeah, I mean, I would wake up in the middle of the night just like panicking, or not panicking, but really just feeling the stress and the burden. I really was falling out of love with the business and I hadn't realized it, but it was just really just starting to weigh me down. And I think in the last 2 weeks I've had like 5 to 7 really good nights of sleep. It's life-changing. It's like life reaffirming. I went on a run this morning and it was like a small run. I am so happy. I'm like bursting with love. Everybody's like wondering if I'm okay. But all of a sudden, like my attitude towards my staff, my projects, my boyfriend, my people, I mean, it's like I'm high, but you know, legally. And I'm like, wow, sleep really does make all the difference. But it's not, yes, it's sleep, but it's the sharing of the burden. You know, it's hard doing this solo. And, you know, I feel like for the first time ever, I have a partner in this. And, you know, John has so many years of experience. And, you know, he's an employee, but he's also kind of a partner. And we're in a lot of this together. It feels so freeing. It's a great gift. I didn't recognize I was falling out of love. I think I was starting to. It was just really, everything was hard and everything was a struggle. I didn't feel like we were doing anything well, and that's not true, but you know, I'm my harshest critic. You know, I have big dreams for this business, and so it's a little scary when, you know, you're being rocked about all the time. John has been on a grand tour of K&M, and I was like, what's K&M? He's like, kiss and make up. And he was like, make me a list of who we need to kiss and make up with. And I was like, do you really want that list? And so he's done that, and it's just been like, you know, the last 5% is what makes the biggest impression. And that's hard. It's hard when you're tired, you can't see things straight anymore. But it really is what matters the most in this business. You know, we're not here for the first renovation, we're here for the second and third and fourth and all your friends. And so how you leave the best impression. Recently, he went on his K&M grand tour. He went to some clients and checked in on them and made a few things better for them that could be made better. And oh my good God, that man is like a celebrity, a saint, I don't know what, somewhere in between the two. But my God, he's done a great job. And I'm like, holy shit, this is what you're here for. And I just can't believe that somebody's willing to help me do this. It's kind of just like a crazy gift, because there's no way in hell I would want to do this for somebody else. But there you have it.
What took you to get to the spot where you finally brought him on board?
My boyfriend is on deployment, and we have a lot of long chats. You know, he'd heard, there's been a lot of me kind of stressing, inventing, and the thing about being a business owner is you want to make friends with people who are also business owners, so your family don't hear you talk about your business constantly. You know, there's a point where they're helpful, and there's a point where it becomes it's detrimental. People just they want to get it, they try to get it, but they can only understand to a certain extent. And he has a really funny philosophy. He says in business you need a visionary, a money guy, and an asshole. And he's like, you're missing your asshole. I was like, wow, okay. And the thing is, I'm not very good at being the bad guy. I'm really not. And it's not that you need the bad guy, but you need somebody who enforces rules, who's gonna tell the guys what's what, and gonna hold the line. And that ain't me. It's just not my skill set. And I completely recognize that. I'm the vision, and I'm gonna hustle for the money, and I'm gonna come up with crazy ideas, and I'm gonna start on the plan, but I'm not gonna finish it. That's the reality. And so he and I were talking. He's like, I think there's somebody you should talk to. So he suggested I get in contact with John, and John and I went out to coffee one day. I told him about what was going on, and John is a third generation builder. He's also former special forces, so don't take shit from no one. We had this really interesting 4-hour chat, and I kind of just unburdened myself. And I also told him about, my vision and where I really want to go, and he didn't laugh. And I think he was one of the first men ever not to laugh. A lot of men initially didn't take me seriously and still kind of wonder, but he completely bought into it. And then he said, well, let's see how I can help you. And this was not, we weren't talking about a job. I was just telling him what I was looking for in general. And he spent half a day with me. And then he proposed to be my COO, Chief Operations Officer / CCO, Chief Construction Officer. And he said, he'd spend 18 months with me while we build out this position, and then somebody can take over from him. Secretly, I think he's going to be there longer. But we kind of he gets it. He backs me. He teaches me. I haven't had a teacher. I haven't been taught. And I found that I work really well with older men. I've had some really good mentors. We get it. We vibe. He's there. He's going to help us grow. He's going to help really bring us up and check ourselves. And I'm just thrilled to be on this journey with him. So growing up, I secretly always wanted to be construction Barbie. And recently, I have made that dream come true for myself. Not only because I have officially a work vehicle, which took me a long time to do. I didn't want to do it at first, but shout out to Latasha, who made me have a branded car fully. And as you know, I have my pink hard hat, which I love, because people then know who I am. The green truck and the pink hard hat, those are our colors. But then I did this. I had my Tim's laser engraved with our logo. So when you see me stomp out of sight and click my heels, you'll always see me. And I know this is batshit, but this describes me. So I love them. And now I feel like I'm the real life construction Barbie. Opening weekend, and it was on, obviously I got dressed up for it. My brother-in-law and my sister went with me, and my dad at first was like, we went out to dinner beforehand, and my dad didn't come to the film with us. And my dad was like, why are you dressed up? And I was like, obviously to go see Barbie. And he was like, no, you didn't. I was like, duh, of course I did. I feel very Barbie right now. I got the nails. We always, always gotta have the nails did. So in Bella world, every day is Barbie construction day. What I've asked for has still not been done. Ooh, I don't like it when that happens. Sometimes I ask for things and they don't get done, and it's just like,
Your call has been forwarded to...
She didn't pick up. Okay, I'm gonna text her. Hi, sorry for calling midday. Wanted to give you good news over the phone. DDOT approved us. We're ready to go. We like giving good news to clients over the phone. Construction is long, it's hard, it's dirty. Things always look worse before they get better. And that's the thing the clients, I try to warn them about, but they can't really comprehend it. And they come in here and they're like, you tore up my fucking house, you animal, what have you done? It's like, no, it will look better, I promise. But I'm a very visual person, right? I walk into a space and I've redesigned it 5 times in my head. I can run with it. Not everybody thinks like that. Some people are very visual, like where they have to see everything together, or they have to see it on plans, or sometimes even then they can't imagine it. And so these good, happy little milestones we like to make a big deal about because, one, they're paying a lot of money and they want to see progress, but 2, it's to acknowledge for both parties, including us, the good things. As I get further into this business, I realize, the moment of completion lasts for 10 seconds. It's a day or 2, you get your photos, they move in, and then they're done with you. And so, at the very end, I like to take a moment where I like to acknowledge everything that we've done, but I also found that it's good to also celebrate the other milestones that got us here. This is why I love construction. I love working in old houses because you find the weirdest shit in them. I saw this one Instagram where this guy found all these liquor bottles falling through the wall, which I thought was hilarious. But this is also kind of cute and funny. I took my fish oil today, tons and tons and tons of little stickers. So at some point in time, this wall was exposed. Or one of my guys is just taking a lot of fish oil. I don't think that's the case, to be honest. I could be wrong, but these stickers look kind of old. And which also tells me at one point, this wall was exposed. Okay, cool.
The door failed to lock. Please make sure it's closed and the deadbolt has not.
Oh, it did lock. I spent a lot of time in France. I've never been to Paris. I am that sad sap of a woman who's waiting for a man to take me. And lo and behold, I'm going to Paris next summer. I said to my boyfriend, let's go to Australia. My best friend just moved there. I want to see her. And he was like, well, what about Paris? And obviously I was dying and super excited inside, but I was trying to play it cool. And so I was like, well, does that mean Australia? Does that mean Australia isn't happening? And he's like, I tell you we're gonna go to Paris. You're asking if Australia isn't happening? And I was like, and then he's like, we need to book it really, really soon. And I looked at him completely blankly. I was like, okay. And he's like, you don't get it, do you? And I was like, no. And he's like, we're going for the Olympics. He's a good boyfriend. I was like, ah! That's really the noise I made inside. I want to see the track. I love the track. I love the running. He wants to go for wrestling. He's a former All-American wrestler. His friend is also most likely going to be playing in the basketball. So we get tickets. I'm like, oh, and then I go to, is he gonna propose? And then I'm like, shh, stop. I'm like, okay, I'm getting too ahead of myself. Come on, there's a car. Sorry, it's a little aggressive. We'll be back in 45 minutes.
2101.
I gotta do something.
So my big concern, not to put that in one spot.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to collapse the floor and then be in trouble.
Are those joists themselves able to handle the load of that stone?
Per square inch, right, a floor should be able to handle about 200 to 300 pounds per square inch.
Per square inch.
Right.
Damn. He's great. Oh, he is a force to be reckoned with. But he's also incredibly, he's very fair, and he thinks through, he had a very difficult meeting earlier today with the project we had wrapped up, and he was like, listen, Jesus, I hate scooters. It needs to be win-win for both sides. And so he was like, do you actually think this is fair? And they were like, no. And they're like, okay. He's like, well, if you change your mind because you don't like something, it doesn't mean that we should incur the cost. But here we didn't do something exactly the way we should have, and that's on us, and we should cover that cost. And I was like, he's teaching me how to negotiate, because I don't, a lot of the stuff you learn over time and you figure out how to do well. I've just never had these lessons. He's a beast. He's an absolute beast. I'm like, wow, this is how he spends his retirement. he's like clearly always got to be doing something. I'm like, wow, you're working like hard. When I go in retirement, I want to go to the south of France. I'm gonna drink a lot. I'm gonna start smoking. I'm gonna have leathery skin and hang out by the pool and eat really good food and get really fat. He ain't doing that. I don't ever think of myself as the help, but technically I am. And so we do not get to go through the front lobby. We go in through the side door. It took me a hot minute to get used to that one, but it's life. It's life. So you can see the building is very well maintained. It's beautiful. They have a lot of rules, like booking the loading dock, or who can be there and when. I have reserved these 3 parking spaces from the city. I spent a ton of money on it. I'm really glad I did that because I want my guys to be able to get in, not look for parking, and that way they're not frustrated. They come into work with a good attitude, and then they're ready to work. If you spend half an hour looking for parking every day, you're not going to want to do this job. So what is the price of my sub's happiness? It's priceless, or $16,000. Take your pick. But the neighbors are very unhappy, and I have had many a phone call because my personal phone number is on the paperwork, which I need to get a new phone number. I'm sure there have been voodoo dolls of me. I'm getting pinned. Oh yeah, people are livid about this. They're absolutely livid because half these houses don't have garages. It's street parking. And we've taken up 3 spaces. It's rich people problems. Or retired people problems. They got a lot of time on their hands. I'm gonna slowly take you through the lobby. Ooh, somebody's got a crate. There's always a solution to an oh fuck moment, or 99% of the time. The question is, how much is that solution? And who's gonna pay for it? Who's gonna pay for it?
Yes, I'll send that in my update to you.
Okay.
Consider.
This person's called me 3 times. Hello, this is Bella. Okay, hi. At 18th Street is blocking the alley access, and I've gotten 3 calls about it in like, I had 3 missed calls and I couldn't figure out what was happening. The neighbors are livid about it, which is completely understandable because that's their only, it's an easement. And we've called for it to be picked up several times, but like they've missed their trash pickup today.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
we need to get on them to go.
Well,
because we
we've
can't
called,
move that by hand.
yeah, no, we've called for it several times. Fuck. Okay, Natasha's gonna call, I'll follow up in half an hour.
Yeah, 'cause there's fluid in that. Once it's full, the fluid is really through the roof.
Oh shit.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Okay. Hey, there's a lot of shit going on, I realize, but we gotta deal with the porta-john because my phone is being...
Natasha just called her.
Okay, and what did they say?
Well, they're like,
I got an answer call to her.
yeah, it's like, she's been calling every day.
I know, but like, it's just like, it's unacceptable on their part, and it's like,
Won't use them again.
no, but like, Latasha, I hear that we won't use them again, but like, we have to come up with a solution more than that because it's actually like, other neighbors use it to get in and out, and now it's like, it's essentially a biohazard. So we're gonna, oh God.
Okay.
It's a biohazard.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Tonight, Natasha and me will figure it out.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right,
Bye. Okay, so the pallet of stone that was being delivered, it's 5,000 pounds. The pallet broke. The guy did not bring a forklift. It broke in the middle of the street. And so we've got to get the stone off the street as quickly as possible and pray to God it's not broken. Meanwhile, I have a porta-john stuck in an alley and it's filled with shit and literally a biohazard. And somebody wants $250 from me, so it's Friday. I mean, we're gonna pay somebody a lot of money.
Those things are moved with either crane from above.
They used a trolley, a dolly.
Yeah, moved by hand with damage.
Well, I'm not worried about it being damaged anymore. I'm worried about like But then I'm worried about the neighbors.
It's possible to tilt it, slide.
That's how they got it in.
Yeah,
But it's like, it's filled with shit.
yeah, it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be really, really heavy. And the whole thing is whether the plastic could sustain being tilted. Now, it's easy to tilt when it's empty. Once it's full of shit, you tilt it.